What exactly is the motherfucking apocalypse? What is up, Alien Army? I am Oculus, the alien next door, purveyor of esoteric lore. And on this channel, we discuss everything out of this world. So today we are going to be exploring the word apocalypse or apocalyptic or things of that nature. So I have seen this word being tossed around quite regularly, and I'm not saying I disagree with it. I've just been seeing this word tossed around a lot. And the thing that guided me to make this video was when I actually looked up the word apocalypse. So the word apocalypse actually stems from ancient Greek. So the word apocalypse literally translates into uncover, reveal. But if you look up the modern definitions of the word apocalypse, you will see that it's more of like a cataclysmic event or a catastrophic goings on or like a tower moment, you know, all of that fucking fear factor jazz. But the ancient Greek word actually just means revelation. So that's why the book of Revelation in the Bible is typically associated with like apocalyptic shit, but it makes fucking sense because if the word apocalypse literally translates to the revelation or to uncover, there you go. Light bulb moment, ding ding ding. All it is uncovering things that were left hidden. So I'm also thinking of the word occult because occult actually means hidden too. So what I'm seeing this in terms of the current events that are going on, no matter how you are viewing the current events, in my opinion, in my view, I feel that the word apocalypse, which I just gave you the ancient Greek definition, is best suiting for it. Not the fear-mongering shit that you see like the end of the world and catastrophe and nuclear fucking fallout and shit like that. No. We're talking about uncovering, revealing. And we're talking about uncovering and revealing occult knowledge because occult knowledge is hidden, it's undercover. And if apocalypse means to reveal, to uncover, then what we're doing is we're taking the word apocalypse, we're taking the word occult, and we're saying, okay, apocalypse, revelation, occult knowledge, blasted at your ass. So this does not necessarily have to be a negative thing. It can be a positive thing, but it depends upon how you are viewing it. So in my channeling, in my interpretation, information that just resonates with me, that is conveyed to me, that now is a quantum shift on the 3D Earth matrix plane. And this started happening in 2020 because we want to look at that age-old phrase that says hindsight is 2020. So 2020 really was the year that all things started becoming uncovered, when the apocalypse began, the great revelation, because a lot of motherfuckers' eyes were opened wide up when 2020 occurred. Now, I'm not saying that there were a lot of sleepers before then, and there are still those now that choose to remain asleep. And
remaining asleep is always a fucking choice.
But for a good majority that were not awake prior to 2020, 2020 was their wake-up call. And then if you want to look at the year 2020 and everything leading up to the events that happened, then you can see that it is all connected. So in hindsight, what happened in 1984?
I don't know why that came to mind. I didn't do that on purpose, I promise.
What happened in 1984, I could see how that relates to 2020. What happened in 1965, I can see how that relates to 2020. What happened in 2008, I could see how that relates to 2020. It's like the build-up in 2020, it gave you clear vision, or at least for a lot of motherfuckers it did. So we are, in my view, in apocalyptic times, but not in that doom and gloom type of shit that you see in all of those end-of-the-world movies and things like that. We are seeing a mass revelation of occult knowledge, because taking back those two archaic definitions of the words, occult, hidden, apocalypse, reveal, occult knowledge, how things that were once hidden are becoming revealed, that are becoming more mainstream, that is what's going on right now. So no matter where you're at in your journey, no matter how you personally are viewing and perceiving the current events, I am quite certain that, especially if you're looking at a video like this, that you already have had your own revelations in regards to 2020 events carrying forward, and now you are awakened to more than you have been before. This corresponds as well with the mass awakening of consciousness that's going on, if you want to call them like light workers, star seeds, indigo children, crystal children, rainbow children, all of that jazz. It's just a fucking label, it's just a fucking title, but I like to call them awakened ones because, you know, you're awake. You have already kind of been through many apocalypses that caused you to be awake, because now you're just seeing things that are typically hidden, but you're seeing them through your third eye, and that is how these things are revealed to you. So if you've already traversed that plane of occult knowledge and apocalyptic shit, then you are going to have a jolly good time moving on forward into this new earth, because now your third eye is awakened. You are awake to what's really going on, and you don't view the current events as doom and gloom and catastrophe and all of that shit. What you are doing, you are seeing it through the enlightened state, through the higher state, through the elevated consciousness, and you are seeing that apocalypse and apocalyptic events are really just a form of revelation. So some people, if they have the wool pulled, what is that expression? You pull the wool over the eye, whatever the fuck. You pull
Wool, sheep. Interesting.
So they had the wool over their eyes, and then all of a sudden with the revelation apocalypse, now their eyes are wide open. Or it can go in the opposite way. They can have the wool pulled tighter over their eyes because they're just refusing to see the things that are being revealed, because perhaps their ego wouldn't be able to compute it, whether they are going to move forward into that enlightened state of being, of seeing things as they really are, the revelation. That is entirely dependent upon the individual, but I must say that a lot of individuals, for the current events in 2020 hindsight, I would say maybe like 45% of individuals are kind of just, they want the wool pulled tighter over their eyes. So 2020 in and of itself is, in my view, an apocalyptic year because so many things were revealed. I know for me personally, even though I was awake, quote unquote, before all of this started going on, 2020, I said, I'm blasted up with fucking ethereal energy. Like my third eye, he wide open, okay? He having a party.
He's always on, slightly off.
And we're just sitting here and we're observing. We're like, damn, like all of that has already been revealed. Is not even going to compare to the shit that's yet to come, that's going to be revealed. So I would suggest, if someone is pulling the wool tighter over their eyes, what are you going to do? They're allowed to have their own experience.
Leave that shit alone.
If someone is trying to force you to see their viewpoints that you don't agree with, I don't think you would like it too much. So a lot of times individuals that see with the all-seeing eye, they think that they are doing something beneficial to help the masses that still have their rose-tinted spectacles on. But think of it from the opposite end of the spectrum. If you, operating as an awakened, enlightened one, had someone from a third dimensional ego perspective trying to infringe upon your beliefs and try to tell you who the fuck you were, I think you would get a little heated, spirituality or not. So for me, if a motherfucker wants to stay asleep with the wool pulled tightly over their eyes, that's on them. Me, I'm gonna be over here in the fucking revelation, in the fucking apocalypse of occult knowledge that's coming out to greet me, saying,
what's up, we've been buried long enough, how's you doing today?
and I'm like,
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
and that's all that you have to do. Pay no mind to things that you don't want to bring and incorporate into your experience. It's as easy said as it is done, because all you have to do is just be like, okay, these motherfuckers are over there, I'm over here, it don't matter, because I respect that they are having their own experience. And even though their version of the apocalypse is going to be different than yours, they are allowed in this third dimensional virtual reality game to have their own perspective and their own opinion. So when we're talking about the apocalypse, I do not see it as negative, and I just want to get the word out there, because if you want to get down to the archaic roots, you'll see that a lot of words make more sense than you might at first glance think they do. I am Oculus, the alien next door. We will chit chat again soon.